All right, the scale we've been using so far is the minor pentatonic scale in B. So now we're going to go over the entire pattern for the minor pentatonic. I'm going to start on the 7th fret of the low E string, because that is the note B, and we're going to play 2 notes on every string. So I'm going to start on the 7th fret of the low E, and that's going to be followed up with the 10th fret of the low E, 7th fret of the A, 9th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D, 9th fret of the D. Now these notes we just played are B, D, E, F sharp, A. And now we're back to the root note B. There's 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. And after playing those 5 notes, we're simply going to repeat them in the next octave. So from the root note B on the 9th fret of the D string, I'm going to follow up with 7 to 9 on the G string, and those notes are D to E. Now to the B string 7th fret, that note will be F sharp. 10th fret B string, that note is A. 7th fret E string, that note is B. So that's the root note again, and we can add one more note. We'll stretch up to the 10th fret on the high E string, and that note is D. So what we've played so far is this. And if we come back down, okay, so now that you know the scale, you can probably figure out that it sounds pretty boring if we just run up and down the scale. So it's a good idea to have some licks. So we're going to learn 4 licks now, and then we'll use them over the same jam track. All right? So here's the first lick in this section. All right, so what's happening here is I'm doing the bend on the 9th fret of the G string, 7 to 10 on the B, and repeating those 3 notes 4 times. And then I'm going to start over again with a bend on the 9th fret of the G, 7th fret of the B. Now I'm going to pivot back to the G string on the 7th fret with my first finger and land on the root note B, 9th fret of the D string. Okay? Next lick in this section sounds like this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is playing 7 to 10 on the B, followed by 7 on the high E, and playing those 3 notes 4 times. And then I'm going to play 7 to 10 on the B, come down to the G on the 9th fret, bend up, and land on the 7th fret of the G string. Third lick in this section sounds like this. It's a classic lick you can use in just about any song. So what's happening here is I'm bending on the 9th fret of the G string, and now I'm jumping over to the 7th fret of the high E string, and then coming back 10 to 7 on the B string. And I'm doing that idea 3 times. And I'm going to end the lick like this. So that's going to be a bend on the 9th fret of the G string, 7th fret of the B, 7th fret of the G, landing on the root note B, 9th fret of the D string. So here's the whole lick again. Okay, here's the 4th and final lick in this section. It sounds like this. All right, so what's happening here, I'm using the top 2 strings, starting off 10 to 7 on the high E, down to 10 on the B, up to 7 on the high E, 10, 7 on the B. And so all together we have this. And I repeat those notes 4 times. And the final note of the phrase will simply be the note B on the 7th fret of the high E string. So once again, this 4th lick sounds like this. All right, so now let's put those 4 ideas together with the jam track. Check it out.